Anything else on numbers, Gigi?
Just policy on fines, because some captains want to fine people for things.
Like Vito did.
Yeah.
Distributed the fine across his other members, I guess, which is pretty good.
Well,
are we okay with that, or?
I think with fines, we let the captains do what they want with the money. The crew takes 30% of the fine.
Yeah, and they gotta tell us, of course. Like, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, it's gotta be reported, no matter what.
Yeah.
Tommy's saved from the 100K fine because he's under Sakura, whereas Donnie's actions were barely a fraction of the Tommy heat, and he got fined out the ass. Yeah. So I know a little more OOC than Gigi herself knows, but not that much more. But I watched like 2 clips of what like Tommy had said and what Donnie said, and Tommy came in hot and was like, I'm never considered, like, my opinion doesn't fucking matter because you're just gonna listen to Koichi, right? He was just so like, Ugh. And then Donnie like was trying to calmly talk to Vito about it and was just like, yeah, I do see his point. Like, he literally came in and was just like, I kind of get where he's coming from. There is a lot of like, you know, I'll say something or he'll say something and then she says the same thing and it's like, oh my god, Queenie came up with this idea. So it's a little crazy, right? He said it like so nicely, in my opinion, from what I heard when I like listened to the clip, and then Vito took it to a crazy level, and then Luch did too, and Queenie did too, because of the way it was communicated. And but Donnie didn't sound like, yeah, right, like Donnie didn't sound like he was emotional the way Tommy was. So him getting fined and then also not given his expenses and all that stuff, I was like, what? That's a lot. I think disagreeing with someone is not a reason to get fined. Watch the Queenie clip too, and Donnie didn't do anything to deserve that. Yeah, it was, I think the situation genuinely was like a huge like moment where Vito already like did not do well as a captain on that, mostly with the communications. Yeah, he was telling Donnie he could have gotten killed. So what I know in character, basically Donnie sent me a message because we meant to have an in-character conversation, and then I went to bed early, and I was like, just send me the message and like we can act it out later. so he sent me a message, and then the next time I saw him, like he was on late at night after stream and I was on, and he just said it to me and I was chill. But basically he said to me, I'll give you the bullet points. He was just letting me know to let me know that he's gonna try and work and not really like talk with some people unless necessary, because he felt like some things were over dramatized and he was now a little like nervous about just giving opinions, right? Yeah, exactly what Deft said, right? Donnie said again and again to Vito and Luch, please, if someone has a problem with me, talk to me and give me a chance to say my piece. And then the brothers talked to everyone but him. Exactly, that's what happened. And that's what he said to me. He said, or to Gigi, right? He said, there's drama with the night crew. He tried making something a little better by just kind of giving an opinion on it that he felt was more measured because he knew Tommy was heated and he was trying to give a less heated version of it, right? Like, well, here's what I think he's trying to say. He said that got spun on him, he felt, and he felt like other people piled on him after that and said, oh yeah, Donnie said something to me and I think he had bad intent. So it snowballed, but he noticed that instead of talking to him about it, they all just complained straight to Vito and the Dons and no one talked to him about anything. So he didn't get to clarify and be like, oh, I was just saying that because of this, and squash it, right? Like it just didn't happen like that. So he felt like he wasn't talked to. And he was saying the comments they're referring to, he was just having them as normal conversation, and they perceived it to be malicious toward Queenie when it was not that. He was just having conversation. And instead of talking to him to clarify, they just came to the conclusion that he was trying to be malicious toward her. And then they conflated it with the drama that was with DeVito when, like, he said he wasn't in on that, but they decided he was in on that. And he wasn't, right? That's what Donnie was saying to Gigi. So he said, so in the end, I was fined 100K by Vito, told I'm lucky I wasn't killed. Plus, I also never got paid my expenses because of this perceived slight. So he said, as a result, I'm just going to speak to people in a professional way. Some people have noticed I've been a little colder, but look, I just am trying to be professional. But they took, childish drama to the Dons, kind of ended up slandering me. Now people have a bad impression of me. I feel like I almost got killed, so I don't know what they expect from me. so I'm just gonna try and keep professional because and that's what Donnie. So that's what I know in character, right? Like that's what Donnie said to Gigi, and he said, "Look, I don't want you to do anything about this. I'm just letting you know because we work together. All I'm trying to do is work. I'm not gonna talk to anyone about anything unless I'm called upon. I'm completing all my crew duties. Vito still seems to have a little problem with that, but I'm just gonna keep doing it. I want to just be out of the drama, so I'm not gonna communicate unless asked. Again, not asking you to do anything. Just need someone in the know. That's what Gigi has heard from Donnie in character, basically. So that's kind of the TLDR of like the message, and then he also said some of this like verbally when we were able to meet up with each other in character again. Problem with having OC knowledge about all this is that some people would form an opinion on that person based on that. Yeah, that's why when the Dons were like, well, it sounds like whatever, and they're agreeing, I just kind of had Gigi be like, yeah, I guess I could see it, because I don't want anything I do know OC to conflate too much. But also Gigi as a character, she's not going to act on just Donnie defending himself to her, because that's the only person she's talked about that knows that side of the situation. Anyone else she's heard from, it's been Luch and Vito. Both were like, oh yeah, Donnie was really on some shit. So it's like 2 people saying this versus just him defending himself. You know, she's not really gonna like pick a side based off of that, right? Because Gigi at the end of the day is trying to be logical. She doesn't wanna, she does this with every situation, right? If she just hears something from one person, she's not going to go ahead and be like, they must be right or they must be wrong. Because it's just not enough confirmation or information. So it's not really like, she's not trying to play both sides or anything like that. It's just, she cannot be sitting here taking either side when she just doesn't have enough, you know? So she just heard him out and was like, okay. During this meeting was saying, here's what, not saying this is the truth, just saying, here's what Donnie said. Here's what I heard. And that's it. So she's just relaying info and that's it. All right, here's the info, Dons, do with it what you will, kind of thing. So if she hears like a lot more people say that they agree with Tommy and Donnie on this stuff, then it maybe would be different, but she hasn't really dug her nose into the situation, to be honest.